Let's open up our books. The books to page. Any second now. There it is. Page 90. 91, I guess. So when we look on page 90, 91, we see, whoa, that's really big. We see this right there. This is the cover page, the cover title for chapter 7, or stage 17, Alexandria. Hopefully, one of you can tell me what this building is. Yeah, it looks like a lighthouse. This coin is really hard to read, but yeah, it looks like a lighthouse. You can see a ship. Alexandria. Let's go ahead and look on page 92 at our model sentences. Okay. Alexandria, magnum portum habet. What does Alexandria have? Yeah, it's got a really big port or harbor. Prope portum est insula. Prope portum est insula. What's next to the harbor? An island. Next to the harbor is an island. Facile est navibus ad portum pervenire. So facile was one of our vocab words. Pervenire is one of our vocab words. It is easy. For whom is it easy? Navibus. For ships. It is easy for ships to do what? To pervenire to the port. To go to reach, to arrive at the port. Why? Quod in hoc insula est foris ingens. Foris is a Latin word for lighthouse. Why is it easy for ships to get here? The island has a lighthouse. Not just any lighthouse. Somebody said, what's ingens mean? Got a huge lighthouse. Multi-naves, not just one naves, multi-naves, in Portum Alexandriae sunt. There are many ships in the port of Alexandria. Portu Alexandriae. He said the port of Alexandria, which is true. That's exactly what it is. It's the port of Alexandria. Number 2. Alexandria est urbs turbulenta. Bustling. Oh, I like that, right? So it's a crowded city, a busy city. Ingens turba. Semper urbum complet. Complet means fill. So now we have an ingens turba. Yep. Always fills the city. A large, or perhaps even a huge crowd. Multi-mercatores per vias ambulant. What do the merchants do? They ambulant. They walk through the streets. Multi-servi per urbum curant. They run through the city. Multi-milites per vias urbis incedunt. They are marching through the city streets. Or perhaps could I say through the streets of the city? Yes, I can. I'm going to write that down. Vias urbis. Yeah, we're specifying. It's not just any street. It's not just any port. It's some sort of a specification where we're going through in a particular one. Last sentence. Milites Romani urbum custodians. Why are the soldiers marching through the streets? Because Roman soldiers, what do? They what? They guard the ego et clemens postquam urbum pervemus templum vidimus. So ego et clemens. Yeah, I and clemens. Postquam ad urbum pervemus. Oh, I think this is one of our vocab words. Does anyone saw the vocab? Oh, I guess no one got it. Pervemus. Come to or reach or arrive. Yeah. Well, remember, I'm part of this. So after we did it, after we arrived at the city, templum vidimus. What did we say? We saw a temple. Ad hoc templum. Tell me more about this temple. Quod Augustus Caesar proprelitus edificaverat, which Caesar, what had he done? He had built it where? Proprelitus. Near the shore. Yeah, to this temple, which Augustus Caesar had built near the shore. What did we actually do? We festigavimus to it. We hurried to it. Pro templo Caesaris, or that's ara. Pro templo, in front of the Temple of Caesarus, in front of Caesar's temple, or in front of, can you say the temple of Caesar? Yeah, we can. Was an ara. There's an ara.
Is he pouring water?
It's an altar.
Is he pouring water onto a cow?
Let's find out. Ego venum in aram foodie. Yeah, what does it look like he's doing? What are you supposed to foodie? No, it's spilling. He's doing it on purpose. What do you call it when you spill on purpose? Pouring. I poured wine onto the altar. What did you guys say? That's exactly what it is. It's a ritual. It's an offering. Number 4. Ooh, that's fancy. That's a fancy house. Prope hunc urbum habitabat bar. Yeah, Barbilus. Tell me more about Barbilus. He's called a weird D-Ways. What type of a man is he? What type of a man would own a house like this? He's a rich man. D-Ways means rich. Near the city lived Barbilus, a rich man. How do I know this guy? Barbilus. Negotium cum patre meo, salique agebat. There you go. Negotium agebat. You can say negotiate. We saw this way back in like stage 4. It means to do business. Barbilus. Willem splendidum habebat. Well, that's what this is. Oh, nice house. On Willem Barbili, Max perwedding. Soon I perwedded. Came to or arrived. Where did I arrive? Willem Barbili. The house of Barbilus. Willem Barbili. The house of Barbilus. I guess I could say Barbilus's house. But the house of Barbilus. It's not just any house. I'm specifying it as the house of Barbilus. Mihi. Willem invidere. Invidere means to find. It was easy. For whom? Me to find the. It was easy for me to find the house. Why? Quite Barbilus. That will notissimus.
Barbilus is very famous.
Yeah, notissimus comes from famous. Notissimus, he was very famous. All right, number 5. Barbilus. Multo seros habebat. He had. Ego nullo. What about me? I don't. I have none. That's right.
Barbilus had so many slaves.
Decorum est tibi, serum agitum habere. Do you remember decorum est? It is what? It is proper for whom? Nope, tibi. You. It's proper for you to habere a serum agitum. It's proper for you to have an Egyptian slave, he says. All right. Inter seros barbili erat puer agitimus. Inter seros barbili. Within. It's like within, between, among. Seros barbili. Among the seros barbili. The slaves of Barbilus. Seros barbili. The slaves of Barbilus, or we could say Barbilus' slaves, specifying the slaves as owning to somebody. Among Barbilus' slaves, there was a queer Egyptian, an Egyptian boy. Barbilus, who's a weird benignus, mihi hunc parentet. All right, so Barbilus, he's described as a weird benignus, so noun and an adjective. What type of man is he? A kind man. So what did he do? Oh, he dedicated me the puer. He gave me the boy. Oh, he really is a nice guy. We have this weird, we have these little weird phrases on here. Portu Alexandria, the port of Alexandria. Vias Orbis, the streets of the city. Templo Caesarus, the temple of Caesar. Willem Barbili, the house of Barbilus. Seros Barbili, the slaves of Barbilus. We have these little phrases here that are somehow specifying things. In fact, one could even say that it's showing some sort of possession. Who owns the slaves? Who owns the house? Doesn't really work here. Who owns the temple? Who owns the streets? Well, the city doesn't really own it, but they're no one else's streets. They're the streets of this city. It's kind of like they own it. Right? Alexandria has this port. It's kind of like it owns it. Yeah, it's part of the city. It's not part of any other city. It's only part of this city. It's a way to try to specify um, this noun belongs to or is part of this noun. A lot of nouns have endings that tell us information. So this ending in here is telling me that it's the of ending. But what do we call this thing? I'll just go ahead and give it away right now. We call it a genitive. Genitive. We have genitives in English too. Typically in English, we just use genitive to mean possession. Yeah. But all right, we've got plenty of time. Let's do the story let's do the riot on the next page. In light of current events, it was completely coincidental that we're talking about a riot. It's gonna happen. All right. Let's find out what happens. What causes a riot in ancient Alexandria? In Willa Barbilly. Hey, look, it's one of those things. We just did it. In Willa Barbilly. In the Willa Barbilly. We can say the house of Barbillis. Is that the only way we can say this? We can actually show it as a possession. Possession too. We could say Barbillis' house if we really wanted to. But I feel like maybe we should keep in the house of Barbillis. That sounds very formal. In the house of Barbillis, du. There's that du again. Habitabam, right? I'm the narrator here. I am Quintus. What did I do? I was living in the house of Barbillis for how long? A long time. You. For an extended amount of time. For a long duration. Ad orbum, cum servo, quandam contendi. Quite Clementum, I will do this first. Ad orbum, where am I going? Good city. Who am I going with? Cum servo. With the slave. Quandam was whatever vocab word. One day or once. What did I do? Contendied there. I hurried. Why? Quod Clementum visitare volebam. Volebam. Who wanted? Will a bomb? Who's a bomb? I'm a bomb. Because I wanted to visit Clemens. Oh, Clemens doesn't live with Quintus. Ille, referring to he, referring to Clemens, Ille, tabernum propre portum Alexandriae, possediebat. Ille, he, what did he do? He possediebated. No. Possessed. He owned. He used to own a store where? Propre portum Alexandriae. Near the port of Alexandria. There's one of these phrases again. Near the port of Alexandria. All right. Servus, that little boy, right? Servus, comma, qui me ducebat, comma, where I get this. We already knew this. So tell me about the slave who was doing what? Who was ducebating me? Leading. What'd you say? Oh, yeah. Who was leading me was a puer agitis. We already knew that, right? In urbe, in gens multitudo, why we as complebat. In urbe, right? In gens multitudo. What's in the city? What was that multitude again? Mob, crowd of people, right? It was a big crowd of people who were doing what? Who were complebating the weas. Complebat. We get the word complete from this. Complebat. Filling the streets. Who were filling the streets. And then the rest of this is kind of very similar to what we just did in the model sentences. Mercatores pervis ambulantes. They were walking through the streets. And negotium inter se agevant, and they were, well, inter se, between among themselves, right? Inter se. They were doing business among themselves. Feminae et ancillae, tabernus frequentabant. So who's our subject here? Feminae and taberna ancillae. Yeah, the women and the slave women. And they were frequentabanting the tabernas. We have the word frequent in English. To frequent something, it just means to go there. Go there a lot. Yeah. But they were going into tabernas, more tabernas. A tabernarius is a person who owns a tabernaria. So we have tabernarii, and they are ostendebanting to the feminae some stolas, showing the women. Oh, and the slave girls. What are they showing to them? What's a stola? Clothing. What's clothing for women? Dresses. Multiservi, vias urbis, currebant. Multiservi? Well, they weren't crowding, they were currebanting. Even more specific than hurrying. They were running through the
Streets of the city.
streets of the city, or perhaps the city streets. Oh, difficile erat nobis, per vias ambulare. Not facile, now it's difficile erat. It was difficult for who? Nobis. It's difficult for us to do what? Ambulare. Why? Quod maxima erat multitudo. Yeah, the crowd was big. It was difficult for us to walk through the city, through the streets, because great was the crowd. The crowd was big. Oh, tandem. Finally, ad portum Alexandriae peruemus. Finally, what did we do? Hey, there it is again, the port of Alexandria. Finally, we made it to the port of Alexandria, or Alexandria's port, if you will. Oh, plurimi Aegypti aderant. Plurimi Aegypti. Plurimi is a lot like multi. Many Egyptians aderant. What is aderant? It comes from ad. So, yeah, this means that they were there. It said, Nolos Grecos vitere pateramus. Yeah. No Greeks here. So pateramus is we were not. We didn't see any Greeks. Not that we didn't see them. We were not able. We were not able to see any Greeks. We were not, or I guess it's we were able to see no Greeks. Oh, there are lots of Egyptians, but no Greeks. Well, where? Postquam hoc sensit? Oh, he's anxious. Where? Postquam. Yeah, hoc means just this. After he sensited this, sensed it, after he noticed this, he's described as anxious. He's anxious. Why do you suppose the boy's anxious because he sees Egyptians but not Greeks? What does that imply?
The Greeks left town.
Why would the Greeks leave town? He seems anxious about this. As if there's something going on why the Greeks aren't there. All right, anyway, he goes on to say, Melius est novus. Melius, bonus. Melius, optimus, better. It is better for novus.
Better for us.
Oh, it is better for us, he says, to do what? To revenire to Whelan Barbillion. It's better for us to return to the house of Barbillis, or perhaps to Barbillis' house. Then he goes on to say, ad tabernum clementis ire non possimus. It is not possible for us to go to the shop of Clemens or to Clemens' shop. It is not possible. We are not able to go to his shop. I sunt periculosa. What are the streets? Periculosa? Danger. Not just danger. We wouldn't say the streets are danger. Streets aren't danger. The streets are danger us. The streets are dangerous. Why? But I give thee sunt errati. The Egyptians are angry. Oh, maybe that's why there are no Greeks around. Omnes Graeci ex hoc parte orbis fugarant. Omnes Graeci. All of the Greeks, they fugaranted. More than just left. They evacuated. Yeah, they ran away from ex hoc parte orbis, from this part of the city, from this part of the city. Minime. Do you remember what minime is? No. Respondi to the puero. I responded to the boy. No. Quamquam Aegypti sunt errati. Quamquam Aegypti sunt errati. You remember quamquam? Although the Egyptians are angry, ad velam redire nolo. I don't want to return to the house. Longum iter iam fecimus. Longum is not a glossary, but you can probably tell what longum means. Long. What's an iter? journey, a long journey. How about yaw? Do you remember what yaw means? Now or already. A long journey already. We famous. We did or we made. We've already journeyed a long way, he says. I don't want to go home, he says. Pine et tabernum clementis pervimus. What is pine? Nearly or almost. We are almost. We have almost pervimus.
We're nearly there.
What?
They're nearly there.
We're nearly there.
You've almost arrived at the permanent. Oh, the house at the Clemens to Burnham.
The shop
The
of
shop of
Clemens.
Clemens shop.
There you go. You got it.
Nikessa has no. Let's make it worse.
Necessary for us.
For us to procure a cow.
To proceed there.
We better go there, but cautiously.
I think you should just have the machine read it